Okay, here we go. We on live.
All
Well,
right.
okay, right, perfect timing. Okay, so good morning, Facebook friends, associates, and family. Today is a very special day. It is Hump Day Wednesday. It is Wisdom Wednesday. It's Winning Wednesday. It's all those things. But today is very special for me because I have a special young lady that is on with me with Love with Ledet Conversations. She is one of my younger cousins that I never get a chance to see because she's so busy serving the country. I just think that the sacrifice is amazing, and I commend her for that because I know I couldn't have done it. I mean, I did a different type of sacrifice, but it wasn't the sacrifice that she did. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit background about her, and just so we can get to know who Miss Elon McDuell Briscoe is. So she is a native of Houston, Texas, a graduate of Forest Brook High School. Forest Brook in the house.
Uh-oh.
Enlisted in the United States Navy in June 2001. I'm going to repeat that. June 2001. It is 2002. You do your math. You do your math, and then that tells you how long she's been in there. Okay, and we're going to touch on that as well. Okay, so she enlisted in the United States Navy in June 2001, attended basic training in Great Lakes, Illinois. She has been stationed on board the USS Abraham Lincoln CVN 75 in Baltimore. What is it?
Oh, it's the CVN 72, and it's in Bremerton, Washington. Yeah.
Washington, yes, there it is. Okay, completed successful tours in the 5th and 7th Fleet areas of responsibility. Selected to the chronologic technician administrative rating and reported on board to Commander Naval Security Group in Fort Meade, Maryland. Okay, she advanced to third class petty officer prior to separating from the active duty in 2014. In 2005, she joined the Selective Reserves and reported to Navy Marine Corps Reserve Center, Houston, Texas. She was selected to active duty Canviar, all these fancy names for
Oh, it's
the
a canvasser recruiter? Yeah.
November 2006 and stationed at Navy Recruiting District Houston as prior service recruiter until June 2010. She earned her 4 gold Wreath Awards and advanced to
Yeah.
Wreath Awards and advanced to second class petty officer. On July 10th, she reported back to Navy Operations Support Center Houston and was selected to individual augmentation in April 2011. She was stationed at Warrior Transition Program in Kuwait from May 2011 to May 2012 as the travel leading petty officer, responsible for that redeployment transition. Over 2,000 sailors returning from individual augmentation assignments varying from Kuwait, Afghanistan, is it Qatar? Qatar?
Qatar,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Yep.
okay. Upon reaffiliation and selective reserve in June 2012 and served as the unit administrative and training department leading petty officer and assistant career counselor for Navy Operational Support Center, Houston advanced to yeoman first class petty officer. She received endorsement and approval for a lateral conversion to active duty naval counselor in November 2014. She was stationed at NAS Corpus Christi as command career counselor and supporting 10 tenant commands from May 2015 to May 2018. Essential component in community elementary school library rebuild after Hurricane Harvey in August 2017. She transferred in May 2018 and is currently serving as the command career counselor of Strike Fighter Squadron 136 located in Lemoore, California. She has completed 2 successful patrol deployments in Arctic Circle, 2nd and 5th Fleet areas of responsibility on board the USS Harry S. Truman, CVN 75. Her military awards and decorations include the Navy Condemnation Medal, the Navy, oh, it cut off somewhere right up here, but in Marine Corps Achievement, the Medal, Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal, various unit service medals, ribbons, enlisted aviation warfare specialist, and enlisted service warfare designations. She holds 5 Navy enlisted classifications: Navy recruiter, combat individual, argumentation, Navy Reserve career information specialist, Navy career counselor, safety afloat officer, and a Department of Labor certified counselor. She is married to Kenyatta Briscoe, and they share a blended family of 6 children. Zion, Talia, is it Talia? Talia,
Talia.
Talia, I can't say this one.
Kenyana.
Okay, I should know that.
Yeah,
Iman, Kimon, and Kinson together. She is scheduled to retire. She is scheduled to retire February 28, 2026, cumulating 25 years of naval service. Y'all, can we just say, girl, you have given up your life. Oh my God, for us.
Yes.
I mean, I just appreciate your service. You talk about need self-love. Woo, my God. Oh my God. Like, this is, like, you are one of the people that I wanted to, when I remember when I first started doing this, I was like, I want to give people in the military love in the boxes, because they are often forgotten, and I was just like, how do I do this? Like, every business person I've came in contact with, I was like, how do I get a government contract? How do I get boxes to these people? Because people, they need to be loved on. You guys serve us. You make your sacrifice from your families, and somebody needs to appreciate them. So if there's anybody listening to this broadcast, please contact me directly via email. I'll put the information on the screen in a minute. Inbox me, whatever. What can we do to love on our military? And I did not. This week, I said I done so many interviews in the last 9 days. I did like 15 interviews. I was like, okay, I got to revamp and regroup so I can look back on myself, because I put a lot of heart and energy into it. But I said, my cousin was like, she was like, I think I want to interview. I was like, okay, because Elon is quiet. She is quiet. She don't talk a lot. So when she said she wanted to talk, I was like, okay, God, let's do it. So anyway, we scheduled her and everything. And of course she's here. But let me just let you know, Elon, I never get to tell you this because I have been busy building my business, the family, and all of that. But I love you dearly. And I always tell you this all the time. We see each other when we hug, even though if it's once a year, whatever, because you are always gone, and when you do come in town, you're just trying to take care of what you can, love on your kids, all those things. So sometimes we miss each other on your in and out, So I want to tell you personally, face to face, publicly, I love you and thank you for everything you're doing.
I love you too, cuz.
So let's give Elon the floor to tell her story. But one thing I want to say first, and then I'll let her. We're going to touch on a couple of subjects and topics. But the one thing I want her to share with you is she had did a post. She had did a post back. When was it? Like what month were you in? August.
I think this is August. I think I did it around about May or so, because I had just experienced a whole lot. Yes.
Yeah. So if this was around May of this year, she did a post, and like I tell y'all, she was quiet. She didn't say anything, and so the post was kind of like her just saying, "Okay, I've been holding it in too long. I got to say something. I miss my babies. We stuck on this ship. Because she had made it all the way to the States on the ship. They can't disclose their location or whatever for security reasons, but she made it close enough to be able to onboard and, see her family. And so I saw the post, and I could tell, like, I say for her to get out and say this publicly, she's hurting and she's reaching, she's crying out for help. And so immediately, y'all know me, my passionate heart, I'm like, how can I get to her? Like, so I started, I inboxed her because, on the ship, they can barely get a good signal. So while I saw she had a signal online, I said, okay, because what is your address? How can I get you? I need to send you some love. I never said what it was or nothing. I said, I want to send you something to let you know you're loved, you know. And so I got the address, and then UPS, I think it was UPS and somebody else, they don't ship to the military. So I had to go to the post office. And then the post office was telling me, well, you have to ship it like you do international. All this, it was like all this red tape just to get her a package, you know. But I was persistent. I wanted to make sure you got this box. So, and I kept checking my tracking status to see if you got it, It kept saying on the way. It kept saying in transit. I'm like, have she got the freaking box, you know? And then I still if you had got you know, if you got a signal to be able to tell me or nothing. So then finally we talked later, but just share your experience about when the box was delivered to you. That's what I want the listeners to know.
Oh my goodness. So when we're deployed, we have these things called RASs. It's called replenishment at sea. So that's how we get our food, our fuel, our mail, and all that stuff. So we had just recently been told that they were going to route all our mail to wherever our duty station was. So my mail was supposed to come all the way to California. So I didn't think I was going to get the box at all. I thought I was going to wait till I got home. So then they was like, well, you know, we're going to extend you guys again. And so, of course, everybody was heartbroken because we were supposed to pull back in March. We were only supposed to be gone for like 3.5 months. That was it. So 6 extensions later, with still no date of return, which is completely nerve-wracking. We got mail finally, and that day I was like, you know what? My cousin's supposed to be sending me something. Hopefully I get it. So all this mail comes on. So when we get mail like in big pallets. So that day we ended up getting like 100 and something pallets of mail. So I was just like, well, you know what? Amazon haven't sent me my stuff, but I better get this box today. So I was like really excited about it and everything like that. So when I got it, I was like, yo, this is my box for my cousin. This is my box for my cousin. I was just like, I finally got her mail. So I was like, you know what? They better shut the internet down so I can email her, let her know that I got whatever she sent me. I waited until I sent you. The message to say that I received the mail. And then after that, I logged off and I went in my berthing. So I lived in a berthing with 30 other females.
Wow.
On a ship with 5,000 people, but our berthing was 30 females. So of course everybody's like, you know, what did you get? And I was like, I don't know. And so when I opened it, of course, I got this. And I was like super excited. And so when I saw Somebody Loves You, Baby, I started singing in my patty voice, which I am not a great singer at all. But I sung in my patty voice because everybody that really is kind of close to me knows that I love Patty. Yes, ma'am. Every concert that she has ever had in Houston, I have went. Oh, I love me some Patty, honey. When that sister kick them shoes off on that stage, honey, I am there for it. That is my girl. I love Patty. And me and my mom used to sing Patty all the time in the kitchen while she was cooking. So that was a huge deal for me. So when I opened it, I was so excited. I had the glass on my desk and stuff like that. And of course I told the guys, if you touch my stuff, I'm gonna break your fingers. But you know, but everybody's like, you know, where did you get this from? And I have a really good friend, Rachel. I told her, I said, I'm gonna get you one of these boxes because it's so many of us. And not just not to take away from the guys that serve, or anything like that, but us as women that serve and we have babies and stuff like that, we miss a lot of precious moments. And so a lot of us, would have to keep each other going because, we all have those days of not being able to see our babies. We have to hear everything via phone or via email, and like you live life via email. And that has been my life for the last 2 years because I have been nonstop that schedule has been so hectic. So I was just completely overwhelmed with love and with joy because sometimes in trying to take care of everybody and and everything, and being worries of careers and taking care of home and all that stuff like that, a lot of times we do forget ourselves. So, and especially in the military, we're an anomaly, honestly, because it's few and far between a lot of us that have children, a lot of us that are leading productive career paths, and we're like climbing the ladder and we're running things, and then you still have to balance home. So,
Balance on.
it's a difference. I can tell you that, because when people ask me, so is your husband active duty? And I'm like, no, I'm active duty. And they're like,
Yes.
really? It's a shock, because it's so not the norm. And
Right.
people don't think that we can do it, but we're doing it. We're doing it, and we are oftentimes forgot about. Trust me. So I felt so loved when I got your box. I needed that. It was like you hugged me, and I
Ah,
needed it.
yes. Yes. That's the whole idea. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I needed it. I
And
needed that because, man, when
that's the
we got
whole concept.
and it was bad. Like I had a nervous breakdown because I was like, I don't never know when I'm going home, and it was just a lot, and being confined, and you can see the shoreline, but you can't get off. It was
Wow.
terrible.
Wow. Wow.
But
Well,
it's a part of
listen.
my life, and I've been doing it for 19 years, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me just say this. So, when do you go back? When do you go back anytime soon?
No, I'm not. I'm never going back to sea again. I
Okay.
have finished my very last sea tour.
Okay.
When I leave,
Hmm.
when I leave here in May,
Hmm.
that's it. And I go to shore duty, and then I retire. So this was
Okay.
my last deployment. So I said they made my last hurrah.
Okay.
I
Yes.
got
Yes.
the best one and the longest one.
Well. Well.
I walked
Listen.
on that brow, honey. I loved it. I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yes, you're on ground. You're on solid ground. Okay, so we'll have to do something. So what I'm going to do now, since you're on the tail end of your career, and I'm promoting all this love through the air, and we're going to figure out a creative way to love on you and your military crew. We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna see how we can. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna put our heads together. But
Absolutely.
yeah, we're gonna figure that out. And then yeah, and then when you come to Houston, I want to give you a makeover. I
Oh
want
my
to give
goodness.
Yeah, I want to give you a makeup. I want to make you feel special for a day. We might
Oh,
hire a driver and just go shop, do whatever, but that's what I want to do for you because I appreciate that. Yeah, I really do. I
oh man,
appreciate everything. Yeah,
so
you
much.
deserve that. You've
Kids
been
have
through
been
a lot.
trying to give me a makeover for the last 2 weeks, and I'm just like, no, not yet. Just wait.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Yeah, when we get offline, we'll put it all together. But let's switch gears, and I want you to share with the listeners of your life as it is being a wife and a mother, yeah, being in the military, and how you and your hubby had actually broke up
Oh
years
man,
ago,
yeah.
and then you got back together. So that lets you
Yes,
know
we did.
that love, like I tell everybody, love still exists. Like do not give up on love. So share that part of your life with us.
Well, I call him Briscoe
Yeah.
because we met
Okay.
in the military. So a lot of people when I say his name Ken or Kenyatta, they're like, who
We
is
don't
that
know who
person?
that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they don't know who that is because I'm just so used to calling him Briscoe. But so we met, I want to say we met in 2007. We actually met at a mutual friend's going away party.
Mhm.
And he had been he spoke and stuff like that. So, I kind of knew of him in passing and stuff, but we never really talked. So when we met at a mutual friends going away party, he was telling my sister, Zavi, that I was mean to him. And I was like, I don't even know you. So
But that's
so he
what
was just
so
like,
you were calling me.
No, I was.
Yes,
I
I know
was.
you was.
Trust me, I was. You better believe it. But I was like, I don't even know you. So you don't even get the full force of me being. So my sister was like, oh, Elon, stop being mean and, give him your number. And I was like, no, I'm good.
See what I'm
And
saying?
so, throughout the night, girl, he was persistent. Do you hear me? So throughout the night, we were hanging out and stuff at the party. And another person I'm absolutely in love with is Gerald Levert. He had just passed. And in my songs, he asked the DJ to play in my songs and he asked me to dance.
Uh-oh.
And
And that
from
did it.
there,
That
that
did it.
did it. That did it. And we hung out after. And then the next day, he called me and he asked me, could I meet him for breakfast? Because he was going back to Silsby. And I was like, what is Silsby? I've
Yeah.
never heard of it. And so he said, Beaumont. And I was just like, okay, well, I've heard of Beaumont. He said, well, it's a little bit past, Beaumont, but, I want to meet you for breakfast. So I told him that I had my son and I was like, I don't bring my son around a lot of different people. And of course, I don't know you like that.
That's right.
So, of course, I gave my mom his name and stuff like that and his
That's
telephone number for exactly where we were going.
right.
And so we met for breakfast. And when we were sitting outside the Cracker Barrel, this older married couple walked past us and they said, you guys have a beautiful family. And, he's gleaming with pride. And he was like, thank you so much,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, no, I don't know about this beautiful family thing. I don't even know. Again, I don't know you.
Yeah.
So after that, he asked me, to come back to Silsby with him. He was like, my family's hanging out. They having like the Sunday thing. We're hanging out. And I would like for you to come. And I was just like, I don't know you. So he calls his mom. Yes, he calls his mom, and his mom says, oh, well, baby, you'll be just fine. Why don't you just come on down here, and we're just hanging out and stuff like that. And I was like, well, okay, I guess. And I was like, well, I'll think about it, but I still guess. I'm not sure. And so he hung up with his mom. And so, of course, I called my mother. And I was like, Mom, he wants me to go to this place called Silsby. I've never heard of this place. I don't know where it's at on the map, but he wanted me to go. And I was like, I think I'm going to go. I talked to his mom. So I said, you don't have to tell me what to do. I already know what to do. I'm going to send you his license plate number, his driver's license picture. His mom, everything. I'm going to make sure that Zion and I are safe.
That's
and
right.
when I tell you, Benita, when we went down there, man, when I tell you that was like,
Just
oh
had
my
a good
goodness, man, it's like he was nailing it shut.
Yeah.
His family was so warm, and they were all close knit and stuff like that. And, we were close knit, but it's a difference to see a different dynamic when your a person's parents are still together. And they've been raised with their parents. So, he had that dynamic where I was raised just by my mother.
Right.
So, of course, it's like, oh my God, this is their family and they're all tight knit and everybody's married and, all these kids are running around and it's just like living in the country. And I was just like, oh, okay. So as soon as I got there, everybody was like, oh, she's a city girl. And I was just like, I guess, but I had so much fun. And I was with him every day.
Wow.
After
Wow.
every single day. I did not miss a beat. We didn't miss a day being together. And we eventually I got pregnant with my daughter, Iman. And the next year we ended up after having Iman in October, we got married that next May. And we were together from May 2009 until January 2000. I think 11, 12, maybe.
Yeah.
Completely. We completed divorce because, of course, we were young. We let everyone's expectation of marriage become what we expected versus, what we wanted marriage to be. But, of course, being young, you don't know any better. You just know you're whimsically in love, So we divorced completely. But in that time of being divorced, those 7 years, he became my best friend.
Wow.
So we built something deeper than marriage. You know, he was my best friend. We talked about our relationships with one another. You know, we raised our children together. Although we were co-parenting, you know, we built a deeper foundation from what we didn't necessarily have at the beginning because we moved so fast. We moved really, really fast. We met in like August, September of 2007. I was pregnant by, I think, maybe February of 2008. So, you know, we moved pretty fast. We didn't waste any time. And when we got married, I was actually pregnant with my last baby, with Kimon. So yeah, we moved super, super fast. You know, you're not really knowing what marriage is like and, you know, what to expect. And, you know, you're looking at all of these couples and like, oh, okay, well, I want this and I want that. And nobody gets to see the behind closed doors that it takes to make a marriage work. So my mom passed in January 2018. And of course, my best friend was there. He made sure he held my hand and he made sure that he loved on me. And no matter when we were divorced or not, it was still my mother-in-law, it was still my sister-in-law, it's still my brother-in-law. It didn't matter. So, you know, they all came and they were there for me and stuff like that, just as they were when my dad had passed. So I remember I was getting ready to move to California and he called me and I was at our cousin's Bridget house. I had just got to California and he called and he was like, you know, Elon, I think I'm gonna come visit you in California. Is that okay? Here we go. He was just like, you know, I think I'm gonna come visit you, is that, you know, for about a week or so. Do you think that's all right? And you know me, yeah. I don't care, you know, come on, it's cool, whatever, you know. And he was just like, well, what if I come visit and I want to stay?
And here we go. Now, what happened to visiting? Now, staying? What? You know,
girl, that Kenyatta girl, he is a mess. So, of course, again, I'm not really, you know, I'm not thinking. I'm just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And instead of them flying me out to the ship, they kept me here because they actually came back and they did like a half deployment thing. It's called dynamic force employment, a DFE deployment, to where you only do half, like 3 months. You come home for like 8 weeks and then you go back for the other half. So we were in the midst of that, and we were like the trial for that. And so I ended up staying here. I ended up getting a place and stuff like that. And he was like, well, Elon, I want to come and bring the kids. And that we can help. He working it. He worked it. And so he was just like, that way we can be at home whenever you leave and you come home. You know, you don't have to come home and be by yourself. And I was just like, well, okay, fine, whatever. And I was at Bridget's house. And I hung up with him and I said, Bridget, he's trying to get me with the okie doke. And I said, I'm not gonna play with Kenyatta. And I brushed it off. And Bridget was saying, girl, he's serious. And I was like, oh, that's Kenyatta. He been saying that forever. I'm not gonna do that with him. You know, I was just like, we are better friends than we are married. And it's a proven fact. Because of course, to that moment, that was the experience that we had, that we were not as good at being married as we were friends. So of course, you know, we're friends. So when before I could come down there, he said, well, Elon, he said, I put in my 2 weeks notice. I'm telling you how serious I am.
Okay.
His job. Yes.
Okay. With action. Okay.
Yes, with action, ma'am. And so he said, I put in my 2 weeks notice. When I come, I'm staying. He said, the only thing that I ask is that we get married again.
Okay.
And I was just like,
I'm gonna have to call, kid. I didn't know none of this. Okay.
Honey. He's like, we would have to get married again. And he said, so let's negotiate.
Wait a minute now. He way too smooth. He done said negotiate.
He said, let's negotiate. He said, if I move there, I only want two things. I want to get married again, And this time you have to change your last name. Those are the only two things that I want, because the first time we got married, I didn't change my name. And so I said, okay, that's easy. He said, now let me know what you want. And I told him, I said, well, I want you to be supportive, and I want you to be loving, and I want you to ensure that when I'm away, that I don't have a worry. And he said, done. So when are you flying down here so we can pack up and we can leave? And so a half, 2 weeks later, the day that was his last day of his 2 week notice, I was there. We were packing his stuff, and he and the kids and I were on our way back. Yeah. Yeah. Don't do
That
that.
is just,
I can't.
that's him in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. You say you what, sweetie? Okay. Can we pause this 1 second? Let me go run up here really quick. Hold on just a
Okay.
second.
Okay. Oh my God, y'all, love. Okay. That's why we are having love with Ledet conversations. Like, you can't have a conversation with me without having love in it some type of way. Like, I knew that they had, I knew that they had broke up and divorced and all of that, but I didn't know the whole story of how he came back. So what's similar with her story is kind of similar, like Miss Ledet and my story, because we actually met at a younger age too, and then we went on by our separate ways. Because he had even got married and all of that, and then later in life, the marriage didn't work out or whatever, and he started coming back around. Kind of similar story, like what she's saying with Ken. So, like, this is just amazing to me, because it's like when you have a soul tie to somebody, and you just know what you feel it right here in your gut, like there's something there, but like the timing is just not right. So if there's someone out there where you're dating and you broke up, and you still, like, when y'all see each other, you still get the goosebumps, or when you get around each other, you get like this little nudging, like, kind of butterfly feeling or whatever, if the timing is right, and if that's who your soulmate is, and you're praying about it or whatever, hey, you don't know what God can do, because I'm telling you, I can't remember how many years we were apart. I want to say we were apart. Oh, let me think. I had to be about 20, probably maybe 7, 8 years, maybe. Just trying to think off the top of my head. And, I was dating other people and gone by my business. And like I said, he was married and whatever. And he went on by his business. I never thought in my wildest dream ever, ever, ever that we would connect back together and get married and all of this, like, never in my wildest dreams. And so, like, now it's 21 years, so do not give up on love. Like, some people, they, go through a divorce or a bad breakup and they get bitter. Don't be bitter. Like, I know the first emotions is, what happened? He must have met somebody better than me. What's wrong with me? All these different emotions come over you. Then you get angry. But when you meet somebody new, then you start comparing them to the one that hurt your feelings. You can't do that. You got to get all of those emotions out. And that's why the self-love journal, this journal right here, for the people that don't know it, this journal right here is healing people's hearts. It is healing people's hearts. It's letting you get the emotions out. And I'm gonna let her tell you when she gets back on, to where getting her strength and all of these things back together, she's starting to do something to put her passion back in love again on something that she used to do. But I'm gonna let her tell you that. But listen, y'all, I'm telling you, for the ones who get to listen, to this, do not give up on love. And I'm telling you, listen, let me tell y'all this right quick. Mr. Ledet this morning told me he loved this thing so much with this Love with Ledet conversations. I guess because he was a guest. I don't know. But he got to see the behind the scenes of me putting things together, putting a flyer together, putting the studio lighting up. I even bought a backdrop and all of this. Why is he ready to turn one of my back rooms, my exercising room, into a studio? he ready for this. He ready. I'm like, listen now, hold on, slow down a minute. Let me figure this thing out. But it's just that he sees the passion that I have into it, and he's seeing the text that I'm receiving and the messages that I'm receiving. Like he's seeing it. He's behind the scenes seeing it, and he's like, baby, this is so necessary. You got to keep having these love conversations. Like it don't matter what it's around or what. Like, but I'm telling you, if we have a conversation, it's going to be about love some type of way. Some type of way. It could be with your career. It could be with your spouse. Even, I can't even share this. I was working on a group, working with Kenya yesterday, and my God, whoo, the stuff that we got coming out for couples. Whoo, Lord Jesus. I can't elaborate on it, but when I tell you we're going to change the game on love. It's, coming out of Corona and the pandemic, I want to see my single ladies find a mate, period. And the same for my brothers, And I said that I wasn't going to do another interview this week, but I have a young man. When he come on here, y'all better do some watch parties. Y'all better do, I'm telling you, when I bring him, I'm gonna tell you his name, but not just yet. He said he was gonna come on, but I don't know when. I'm thinking maybe next week, because the end of the week, after today, I've been really working hard. I'm going to love on myself. I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to do some self-care. I'm going to go to the nail salon. I might even go shopping for a car. It's about time for me to have a car, a new car. But I'm going to do some things that I'm going to love on myself for the rest of the week. I might even go out to Galveston, just take a breath of fresh air or whatever. But that's what I'm going to do. And that's probably why I'm not scheduling any more interviews this week. But next week, I think I might do 2 or 3. But if I get him on here next week, my God, woo, I'm going to let y'all know. I'm going to say, now, this is the one where you do the watch parties and all of that. So you got Ken taken care of?
For a second, yes. We are trying to get his appointments and stuff like that since we came back home. And Lord.
Did he know you was live? Did he know you was live? You wait till I get.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna call him right after this broadcast.
He said he's sorry, but yeah, the people finally gave a return call for us to.
I know how that is. Okay.
We have been at it since last week because of COVID.
I get it. But these are the things that happen when you're live. I'm okay with it. We family, and I know that was important. But I had a whole conversation with them, honey, while you was gone. But anyway, we're gonna shift gears because I don't like to hold people too long. I like to keep the conversation interesting, and so let's shift gears to the loss of your mother.
Man,
yeah. And I just want the listeners to want you to share your feelings of, just let them know how you're doing day by day to cope with it, and how you've now actually got the strength to do a passion with your blog you was telling me about. Like you've gained the strength to share it so that other women and other people who are in that same situation can get some strength from it. And I'll help you with anything you need on that. But just share with them. Like,
absolutely. Actually, I started my blog March the 5th, 2016. So it's called The Queen Perspective, and it's prospective, not perspective, because it is the queen that I am aspiring to be. Because, a lot of times we always say, oh, we're a queen, and, they're kings. And I was like, but people don't realize that in what you're trying to become, you have to heal. And a lot of people are not willing to heal. So there's always a saying that Danye always says. She says, Elon, hurt people. Yes, so if you want to be a help to anyone, you would first have to heal yourself. So in my blog, which is public, very, very public, which is another weird thing because I'm a very private person and I'm very quiet. But I think maybe like for the first year or so, I shared like my healing journey and how I was holding myself accountable for the things that I did, for the things that I said. And, it's not always the other person. I had been, cancerous to people because I had not loved myself. So, and just like Bridget said the other day, she was like, she was so busy loving everybody else, she didn't love herself. But I wasn't taught properly how to love myself. I always thought that life just happened. And, but Dolores, she was like, that's life, honey. She didn't, it was straight talk, no chaser with her, and she was like, that's just life. But what I realized in starting that blog and starting that journey is that I was able to heal. I even talk about a point where what made me start it. Actually, a few days before I started that blog, I actually was planning to commit suicide. And one of my friends not knowing, called me, and I share on there that the first thing is called the break. So I broke completely, and to the point to where I felt like I was doing a world of service because no one cared about me. But that's what happens when you don't love yourself. Yeah. And I was so busy waiting for everyone else to love me instead of me loving myself. And then I was angry with the world because I was loving the world and no one was loving me back. I wasn't getting that reciprocated. So it was really, really hard. So when my friend called, she called, and another one of my friends called. They came to exactly where I was, and they just held me and they let me cry. And in that evening, I had a dream that it just kept saying the queen perspective on everything, like books and billboards and stuff like that. And I was like, what is God trying to tell me? And so I had been I wasn't trying to, but people in church had said, had prophesied that I was called to heal people, and that my testimony would heal people. Well, I was just like, well, how is my testimony supposed to heal people if I'm not preaching in church? So on that video, it actually talks about that God showed me that I don't have to be in a pulpit to heal people.
That's right. It showed me outside the church walls. That's right.
Yeah. So me being in a vulnerable state, which is nothing that I'm really ever used to. I'm still not used to being vulnerable so much, but I learned that in that journey that that with me healing myself, in turn helped me and my mother heal. And so I'm grateful that at the end, at the end of the day, because she saw my journey in self-healing, it helped her heal some things. And we became closer. So the one thing that I do appreciate is that I actually had the time to heal our relationship. And that when she passed, I had no regrets. Now it was sudden. Absolutely. It was very, very sudden. And me still being in some of my old ways, I kind of regret how I acted, because like the week before she went into the hospital, she and I had an argument. And she would always text me and say, well, Elon, it doesn't matter how much we argue. I still love you. And I don't want something to happen to me or to you. And I never told you that I love you. And so me being the stubborn me, yes, ma'am, I love you too, but I wouldn't talk. And so when she went into the hospital, all of a sudden, and I think there's still people today that don't know that my mother passed away. Actually, one of the guys that I used to be stationed with asked me about my mom a couple of days ago, and I was like, my mom passed. And he was like, what? So, but I was there with her, just like my brother and my sister. I actually eulogized my mother,
Yes, you did. You did a wonderful
So, when I tell you that through my journey from starting that page, man, I am more aware.
Yes.
I'm so more aware about how I love and how I love myself and what I do and what I say. So I think that because I was able to heal one of the most difficult relationships in my life, which was with my mother, because it was very strained, that if I could do that, then anybody can do that.
Yes, that's right.
Anybody can do it, because my mother was a tough cookie, honey. She didn't play. And
Yes.
she didn't show emotion. She didn't anything. So if I could get her to be vulnerable and we could really talk and, she got to clear some of those scars to let them heal before she passed, I believe that my mother's a lot happier.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a day-to-day thing. I still have my moments here and there, but I think it took a very long time to start grieving. I don't think I started grieving until maybe like a few months ago. And I think that's what kind of led to the nervous breakdown, because it was like so much.
Yes.
So but all in all, she did a good job. I'm living proof.
Yes. And 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 she loved you so much to where she wanted to see you prevail in your career, to where she
Yeah.
would just she made sure those kids were taken care of, everything. Like, I commend her. Like, she is a soldier for real. Like,
Yes.
she is a soldier, a hero, and should have some. They need to have some military grandma awards or something, because she
I've
was
been 17 years without her, honey.
yeah, she was the champion. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, my auntie, when I tell you she stuck with Elon through thick and thin for watching those kids, making sure they was taken care of. And I mean, and it's not like my auntie sat at home. She had a full-time job.
She
All of
did
that.
not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but the one thing I love about my auntie, and that I miss definitely, like everybody says, is her cooking. Her cooking
Yes.
and her conversations. Because if she call you, you better, I don't care what you're doing, you better set aside about 30 good minutes, because you're not gonna get her off the phone in 5. Because if you touch on one good subject, she gonna tell you, well, come on, let's well, let me tell you from experience, baby. That's it. She gonna get down with you. And so, and she was the baby of all the siblings, but was so knowledgeable, had
Yes.
so much wisdom, always had a good word for all of
Wisdom, honey. She had some wisdom.
the baby of the family has so much wisdom. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I truly miss her. Just yesterday I was scrolling down Facebook, and those memories was coming in, and I saw the memory of her and Joe at my front door for Bernard's 50th. I was like, oh my God. Like, it's like, it just hits you when you see the pictures when they scroll down, because you'd be like, wow, she's really gone. You know what I mean? So, but listen, Elon, thank you for sharing your story. I never, when all of the guests come on, we never like coerce anything. We never like, even when I send them the invite, I was like, listen, if you got an experience you want to share with me about Love in the Box, whatever, we can do that. But after that, it's all on you, whatever you want to talk about. And so I had no idea what she was going to talk about. But I knew that I wanted the world to know the sacrifice. That was the main thing I wanted to know. Wanted the listeners to know was your sacrifice to us for your service. That was the main thing. And then I got to thinking, I was like, okay, we got to tell them about this love story. I'm going to bring the love out.
Yes.
I was like, we got to tell
them. I love him.
Yeah, so that people don't give up on love. And then also share how you are getting because you're starting to heal, you are starting to get your passion back for the blog, and it's going to help people. So just continue to let God use you. He's using me. Like, this Love in the Box is a ministry outside of the church walls. It really is. And so let God use you. Use me, whatever I can do to help you. Because I had no idea that you was going through all of that. I had no idea about the suicide, none of that. So just thank you for being strong and courageous and vulnerable, wanting to share your story. Now that you've shared your story, the windows of heaven is going to open for you, because God is ready to bless you, because you obeyed him. You were obedient to him. When you text me and said, I want to interview, I knew this was going to be good. I knew it, because I was like, okay, if the Holy Spirit is tugging on her heart to come on and talk, it's something that's going to be able to bless and save somebody else. Yeah. So do you have anything else other than that? I'm going to let you take care of Ken, and I'm going to come to this broadcast.
Call him, honey. I'm about to go up here and check on him now, because like I said, but I can say this before we get off of here, that this time around I have gotten to see the beauty in marriage.
Yes.
Because man.
Yeah.
Because with him having that accident a couple weeks ago, man, like,
Yeah.
you know, you never, when people say for better or worse, sickness and in health, man, like
Those are
I
some
have
strong
gotten to
words.
see exactly. I have gotten to see what that feels like. There's no hesitation. And that's how I know that I love him the way that I love him because
Yeah.
I told him, I was just like, I knew one day we were going to have to do all of this, but I didn't
Yeah.
think it would be so soon. But what it
Right.
does is that it shows me how much I appreciate him and how much he appreciates me. So in this experience, we have grown even closer
That's
in our
right.
marriage
That's
because
right.
we have to depend on one another. So, man, when I tell you God has been showing up and showing out in our life since all of this happened, because what the devil meant to
For bad.
break us, baby,
God,
God,
he's
like
so good.
God
He's
put it
awesome.
together. We
He's
tighten
awesome.
it, man. And when I
Yeah.
tell you, like, when we made it back here Saturday, I just cried because it has been like small little blessings, like
Yeah.
people taking care of certain things or paying for certain things, or hey, I thought about you. Hey, you can use this, or hey, I have this, or hey, if he needs this, I know this person. Like, so it's
Right.
just
That's how God works. That's
just
how He
come,
works.
man. People have just been coming from everywhere, and I'm getting to see this time the
Yeah.
reciprocation of love that I
Yes.
have put out into the world.
Yes.
And it's
Yes. So you
overwhelming.
sown those seeds in the ground and they coming back to you.
Yeah.
Listen, yes, yes, yes. Can't nobody tell me I love seeds. They can't tell me. They can't tell me because when it comes back, my God, like it's unbelievable. Like, oh wow, oh my God, thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
So I'm getting
Yeah,
to reciprocate all the love that I have pushed in the universe and that I have loved on people. And and a lot of people don't ever mistake that what you do goes unnoticed. Because just because nobody is clapping for you or you can see it, it
yeah,
doesn't mean that people have not noticed you and noticed the good that you push into this world. Because my
yeah.
blessings, my husband's blessings have been coming from people that we
That,
didn't even know that we
right,
touched.
unexpected blessings.
It's
Yes, ma'am.
unexpected blessing. And when I
Yes,
tell you, Bonita, we are in an overflow right now because my husband, my husband could have been gone. The
I
way
know.
that car accident was, I could have
I
lost
saw
my
it.
husband. I would have not known really what to do. So in this season of our life, we are appreciating one another, we are loving one another, and
Yeah,
like I said, God has really gotten to show us where one strand is easily defeated.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
one strand is easily
Mhm.
defeated. Two, they
Right.
might not be able to overcome so easy, but with three, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying, it's not
Yes.
easily broken.
Right. It's
And
not.
we are
It's
getting
not.
to see that
That's right.
manifest, and
That's
I'm
right.
grateful to God.
Yeah.
So I love you and I thank you. And I didn't know what to expect. I never know what to expect,
You
even when
don't.
I'm sharing my story. I never
Yeah.
know what to expect, but I want somebody to believe in love, love themselves, heal themselves, and know that just because you don't have somebody clapping for you right then don't mean people not paying attention. And if you need somebody to clap, baby, send me a message. I'll clap for you. You hear me?
That,
Because
me
I'm happy.
too. Me too,
I'm
cuz. That's right.
happy for everybody. And baby, if you need some love, honey, I give you that love. Now that's the one good thing I did get from Dolores, honey. She would love on you.
Yes.
So I love on you, honey.
Yes. So we might have a honor Dolores love party or something. Honoring Dolores. We might have to get up in there and
That the
try to cook up the dirty
seeds
rice.
sown, honey. The seeds of love that she sown, I am reaping the benefits of even that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna get
Let's
together and
try
do
to do
something about
something.
that,
Yeah, let's
baby. But
do
I
something
guess that
on
we're
that.
in our overflow and it's our time. And if you are not in your season yet, don't be
Mhm.
discouraged because
Right.
a lot of people don't know what it took for us to get into our season. You know, Kenyatta marriage this is 13 years, even in being separated. This is 13 years of building, you know, and now we're getting to see the great part of marriage. And now we're getting to see the overflow. So don't ever think that when you are in the midst that, you know, it's never gonna come. It's gonna show up, and it's gonna show up unexpectedly. And just be ready and be happy for people. Genuinely be happy for people.
That's right.
Genuinely, not, oh well, you know, I'm gonna clap for her on the side, but it's not my time. No, you can't be like that. When you genuinely happy for people in their season, honey, when it's yours, you baby.
That's right. Because what God makes happen for you, he'll make happen for somebody else. So if you're happy for them and cheering them on and all of that, their blessings, their love, and all their overflow to you. So take the envy, the jealous, take all of that out your spirit. Be genuinely happy. When you are genuinely happy for somebody, I promise you that overflow and blessings will overflow to you.
Yes, ma'am. So I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you for literally saving me when I thought that I wasn't being loved and I wasn't being loved on properly. Let me say that, because I knew I was loved, but I wasn't being loved on properly. That you sent it, and that wasn't nothing but angels that helped out, baby. And I really appreciate it, because it's some mail I still haven't gotten, but I got that.
But you got that. Yes, baby. Yes. All right, cousin. Well, we're gonna give the listeners back the time, and I just love you. Between me and Bridget, and Danye and all of us, we're gonna get together. We're gonna make sure you have a very special day. We're gonna coordinate schedules, whatever, and we're gonna love on you, honey. You child, we're gonna give you so much love, honey. You ain't gonna know what to do. But
well, I will receive it, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you again. And it ain't nothing that you can do about it, as my angel says.
Okay, so we are signing off. Elon, you stay right there. I'm just going to sign off of Facebook. We are signing off. Thank you for sharing this moment and this space with us, with love, with Ledet Conversations. I hope that this blessed you today. Please share this video with your friends, with your families, within your groups. Share it. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this so it can bless and save their life. That's what it's all about. I'm just sharing love through the social media waves. That's all I'm doing. And also, if you missed the Facebook, you can always go on my YouTube channel. All of the conversations are recorded, and they are posted on the Unique Hearts YouTube channel. So have an amazing Wednesday. God bless. Keep hope alive. Yes, keep and love. Keep love. Keep love. Yes. Yes. Love. All right, we signing off Facebook.
Oh, love you.